I put together quickly a tapping sequence that I hope will help with some of the overwhelm and the overstimulation and shock around the recent events and violence that has been prominent in our media and in our lives. We'll be working with the emotions and a little bit with the body sensations and how it's been affecting your life and changing your life very possibly, and a couple more steps as we go through about 6 rounds. Won't take very long really. The way this will work is you'll tap on each of the points indicated in the diagram with the tips of your fingers very gently. Use all the tips of your fingers. If you have fingernails, just change the direction of your fingers. And we'll go along and say one sentence as we're tapping on each of the point, and then you repeat after me. You say the same thing I said. Then we move to the next point. I say a sentence, you repeat the sentence. Then we move to the next point. I say a sentence and you say a sentence. And you'll notice that there are several points on the body and on the torso, and we'll move around the body several times as we breathe deeply in and out. We'll also drink some water throughout the sequence, so get some water ready for yourself, and mostly begin to relax a little bit of the emotion and overwhelm that you have been feeling recently. So let's begin with the karate chop point with our beginning setup statement. Repeat after me. Even though there's all this sadness around me, even though I'm very overwhelmed by it all, it's preventing me from my inner peace. And even if there's some part of me that doesn't want to let it go, maybe because it's such a shock, maybe because it's just everywhere around me, everything I hear about. And I want to love and accept all the parts of me anyway. And shake your hands out as if you're shaking water off the tips of your fingers. And begin to tap on the side of the hand, once again, repeating after me. Even though there's all of this emotions going on, all this overwhelm going on, all this violence around me, it's preventing me from having my normal life right now. And even if there's a part of me that doesn't want to let it go, maybe because it keeps coming up over and over, I want to love and accept all the parts of me anyway. And shake your hands out like you're shaking water off your fingers. Take a deep breath in, exhale and let your shoulders drop. You may want to take a drink of water at this time. And let's begin again, tapping on the side of your hand. Even though I'm overwhelmed and in complete shock about all of this violence around me, it's preventing me from living a normal life right now. And even if there's some part of me that doesn't want to let it go, maybe because I think I'm supposed to do it, this suffering. And maybe because I feel like I'd be a bad person if I didn't suffer with everybody else. I want to love and accept all the parts of me anyway. Take a deep breath in, shake out your hands, let your shoulders drop. Another breath, exhale fully. Take a sip of water. And now we're going to start at the eyebrows. So with all your fingertips, start at the tip of the eyebrows. All these emotions, side of the eye, all this sadness under the eye, all this grief, mouth points, both one all at the same time, top and bottom. All this hurt, collarbone point, all this shock under the arms, all this anger, the liver point, all this frustration, on the wrist. I'm absolutely mortified. The top of the head, all this disappointment in humanity. I feel hopeless. Take a deep breath in and out and loosen your shoulders. And we'll start again on the eyebrows. All this tension in my body. Side of the eye. All this tightness in my neck. Under the eye. All this tightness and tension in my jaw. And the mouth points at the top and the bottom, using both hands. All this tightness in my shoulders. Collarbone point. All this heaviness in my heart. Under the arms. All this tightness in my lungs. I can hardly breathe sometimes. Liver point. All this tension in my back. The wrist points. All this tension and tightness in my hips. In the top of the head. All of this heaviness in my limbs. Take a deep breath. Loosen your shoulders. Start noticing your breathing. Make it a little bit longer as you inhale, a little bit longer as you exhale. Consciously drop your shoulders. Take a drink of water if you need to. We're going to start again on the karate chop point this time. So even though there's all this overwhelm around this violence, it's affecting me. It's changing my life even. And even if there's some part of me that doesn't want to let it go, maybe because my body and my system are in shock, I want to love and accept all the parts of me anyway. And we'll just do that one time. Shake out your hands. And we're going to move to the eyebrow points. This has been changing my life. Side of the eyes. All this overwhelm under the eyes. All this helplessness above the lips and below. I'm losing my joy. Collarbone point. This is disrupting my life. It's disrupting everybody's life. under the arms. I'm having difficulty sleeping. Liver point. All this overload on the media, on the wrist points, all this political mess on the top of the head, all this disruptive changes, too much information. It's difficult to absorb it. Take a breath in and exhale out. Notice your breathing. Lengthen your breath. Deep breath in, exhale out. Have some water if you like. Here we're going to go on the karate chop point one more time. So even though I have all these mixed feelings and all this overwhelm around this violence, it's preventing me from feeling safe in my own world. And even if there's some part of me that doesn't want to let it go, maybe because I'm afraid if I let go of my fear, then I won't feel safe. I want to love and accept all the parts of me anyway. And shake that out. We're going to start on the eyebrow points. This is devastation. I want to let it go. All this stuff, I want it to go away. Side of the eyes. I want it to go away. Under the eyes. It can't. We have to deal with it. Top of the mouth and below the mouth. I don't want it to take over our lives. Collarbone point. But we have to deal with this. Under the arms. I want to feel better about this. Liver point. I can't. There's nothing good in this. Wrist points. I want to at least function well. And stay on the wrist points. I want to let go of it. Top of the head. I want to return to my life. And take a deep breath in. Exhale out. Drop your shoulders. Shake out a little bit. Shake it off. Sip of water if you want. And we'll begin on the karate chop point. Even though there's all this overwhelm around this violence, I really feel unsafe. And if there's some part of me that wants to hold on to this, maybe because I'm afraid if I let go of my strong emotions, I will let my guard down and I won't feel safe. I won't be safe. I want to love and accept all the parts of me anyway. I want to feel safe in the world. That's on the eyebrow points. So on the eyebrow points, I want to feel safe in the world. On the side of the eyes, I want to feel my people are safe. Under the eyes. It's too scary to just let all this go, all this fear. The mouth points. If I let it go, I'll be a bad person. I have to suffer like everybody else. Karate chop, collarbone point. I want to be empathetic and functioning. Under the arms. I don't want violence to win. Liver point. I want my inner peace to be stronger. The wrist points. It's hard to return to normal after all of this shock. On the top of the head. I want to stay strong and balanced for the innocent. Give a deep breath in. Exhale out. Drop your shoulders. Loosen any tension in your belly and in your jaw. Have some water if you like. And the karate chop point. Even though I have felt overwhelmed, I'd like to feel some peace. If there's any part of my thoughts in my body, I want to hold on to this shock and tension. I choose to let that part go now. Shake your hands out. On the eyebrow points begin. I choose to release this from my body. Side of the eyes. I choose to remain empathetic. Under the eyes. I choose to operate at a balanced state. At the mouth. I choose to let my emotions out constructively. Collarbone point. I choose to look for constructive ways to help. Under the arms. I choose to find my own balance, and tears are okay. Liver point. I choose to look for hope. The top of the head. I choose to remember my resources and to tap whenever I feel distraught. Take a deep breath in. Hope. If at this point there's something else staying with you, I encourage you to go ahead and talk it out to yourself and tap on your points, just like we did. Tapping is really just a conversation with yourself. It doesn't even have to be as formal as we've done it now. It is the stimulation of those energetic points that releases the chemistry in your body that allows your bloodstream and goes into the functions of your brain to calm the emotions. So this exercise is to calm the emotions, and you have that at your fingertips anytime you like. I hope it helps. I hope you have your own level of hope. I'm Laura Long. You can reach me at the tapping choice or at lauralong.pro. If you have any questions, please ask me. Peace.